Now that you're on the bike, is your low back feeling uncomfortable, tight, your hips feeling tight and stiff? We have a few techniques for you to use that you can release that pain, make yourself feel better, ride better, be more comfortable. Doing this thing called active release, using pressure with the balls or our hands, basically holding the pressure on a muscle. So we're not going to massage the muscle, we're just going to hold pressure there, and then we're going to move that muscle through its range of motion. That's going to release the connective tissue, the fibers of the muscle as you're holding that pressure and moving it through its range of motion. Then you'll move on to another spot that's sore and do the same thing, actively releasing it. You're feeling pain on the side of your leg up into your hip after you've been on a ride or after you've been sitting at your desk after riding. So you can just put the pressure against the wall, have the ball here right against the IT band, and then you can just move your leg through a range of motion, flexing, extending your knee, and you'll feel that activity happen as your quads attach in to the edge of your IT band. And you can just gently massage and release that discomfort, that pain that you're feeling by doing this, as opposed to rolling around on a roller, which is very, very painful. So this is a good activity, mimics the pedal stroke and helps alleviate that tension that you're feeling. From there, you can just turn yourself a little bit and get it onto the edge of your quad as well. And again, the same thing, just actively release. You can hold the ball in place as you need without requiring too much pressure and making it too painful. Done your IT band, your quads, you can just come straight up into your glutes, the edge of your hip. You might be having some hip tension after riding or sitting at your desk. And nice treatment all together. Treat the whole lateral side of the leg and into your glutes. We worked on the IT band, the glutes, the quads a little bit now. This lower leg stuff you're going to feel now from pulling with your feet and lifting up with your feet on the pedals. So you're going to feel probably some tension here in the front of your shin. You're going to feel more tension in the back of your gastroc and maybe up into the back of your knee. You may even feel some tension in your feet from doing the spinning activity now. So we're going to do some techniques here to help release that stuff. I got my rad roller. If you don't have one of these, you can use a broomstick, a dowel, you could use a rolling pin. So one thing that's nice is to roll this front part called the anterior compartment of your leg. So you're using this muscle to pull up on the pedals when you pull. It'll probably feel sore when you work on it. So it's nice to work on it this way. You can use the same roller, work on your gastroc and your soleus, where you might feel that junction between the soleus and the gastroc starts to get sore because you start to pull with the pedals now. So you can release a little bit of that with just some rolling like this. You can do 30 seconds, 45 seconds of work, just trying to release it nicely, a little bit at a time. You can do each side, and again, with not too much pain. You can add in here as well. We can come here, put pressure, and you can just move your foot this way with putting pressure to help release that muscle as well. Again, with the gastroc, you can just put a bit of pressure on there and then just actively release the spots that are sore. Maybe spend a couple minutes on each leg. If you don't have something you can roll these muscles with, you can use your fingers. Feel that shin bone along here. Take your fingers and basically peel the muscle away from the edge of that shin bone, and then you can actively release like this. And then just work your way down the muscle. You'll feel where it's tense and sore. Maybe do a few more movements in those areas and just gradually release that stuff. Here on the back of your leg, on your gastroc and your soleus, you can just use your thumb pressure. You're going to push in this way. Right into the middle of the muscle, you can feel back there. Again, just up and down, holding that pressure in that area for 3, 4, 5 repetitions, and then move down the muscle. Same thing. It doesn't take a lot of pressure, so your hands aren't going to get tired doing this. And then you can come back over here. These muscles here attach on the back side of the tibia here. You probably feel quite tender here. You can just use, again, your thumbs. You can support one thumb with the other, put a bit of pressure in. and just actively release. So just peel the muscle away from the bone. I can't even tell you how much weight, just not so it's super painful, just so it feels good, and then actively release it. You don't want any of these things to be really painful because you're going to tense up and it won't feel so good afterwards. So another means you can do to release the lower leg is with the ball. If you have a yoga block, this is just a meditation cushion. You're just going to use the weight of your leg and again do the active release techniques to help alleviate the tension in there. So if you have a ball, if you have anything that's round, if you had a small roller, maybe a can of soup, something you wanted to use, a rock. So you can take that ball and stick it onto the elevated surface and then just let the weight of your leg sit on the ball. You'll feel that it's sore. So, and again, you're gonna actively release like this. You don't wanna be rolling like this because you're gonna be contracting that muscle. So just let the weight sit on there and move the ball along as you feel tension releasing. Again, 4 or 5 contractions like that. And just move the ball along and release as you go. One thing you can do, if that feels like it's not enough, you can put more weight on with the other leg. If you feel like you need some more pressure in there, just to release like that. One other thing I'll do when I'm watching television sometimes as I'm sitting around or I don't have a tool with me, you can take that leg and stick it on your other kneecap again, and then just release like this. Again, move your leg and just use the pressure on your kneecap. It's a nice one, sitting around with time on your hands. You're using clipless pedals. You have a nice stiff sole on your shoe. You're attached to the pedal, and your foot is going to be gripping, essentially as I exaggerate here, into the shoe, and you might start to feel some tension from everything else being tense and feeling soreness in your feet at the end of a ride. If you have a couple small balls, I like using the really small ones because you can really get into your foot, but it's a pretty easy technique. You can just take your foot and roll it on the ball. It's better if you sit down. You can stand up and do this. Again, you don't want to make it super painful, but again, roll into those spots that are sore. You can move your foot a bit like this, again with the active release section, and just roll through the attachments of your, it's called your plantar fascia, basically from this part of your foot to this part of your foot and your heel, from side to side, releasing everything that's in your foot. After you've done these things, a nice thing to come to do there on your feet is to stretch your calves. So you can come into a stretch like this. It's going to stretch into the foot, into your lower leg, and it'll feel pretty nice. So after you've done the rolling on the foot, some stretching in the lower leg, you can use your hands as well and do a bit of, you have joints that are all running across here. You have joints here in the middle of your foot. So you can, again, use your fingers, come in, not a lot of pressure. You can just sort of ply your foot and try to fold it around your fingers, getting some movement in those bones in there. Your toes, you can just bend them. You might get some cracking going on here in your toes as you move them around. Into the ankle as well. You can just mobilize your ankle using your hand and holding it, using your foot to move, trying to get the stiffness out of that ankle as you have been overusing it now. One of the satisfying things I really like doing at the end of this treatment on my feet is really getting into my toes. And there you go. It's pretty easy just to give them a flex and they have a nice adjustment. It feels pretty good afterwards. Here's a bonus tip at the end of your ride after you've done all this work on yourself. Find yourself a nice spot on the wall where you can lay down. And basically you're gonna just lay here and relax. Put your feet up the wall. Let your lower back relax and let all that blood flow back out of your legs. You can lay here for 10, 15 minutes and let your legs recover. You'll feel much better the next day. So take these techniques we've done today, these exercises, these release techniques, do them at the end of your rides, do them a few times a week, or if you're just having a day off, do some of these things and you're gonna recover faster and you're gonna perform better. So let me know in the comments which of these exercises you did, how they helped you, and how you performed in your next group ride. Please subscribe and share this with others so we can all ride better together. In this next video, I'm going to show you how to pedal smarter, not harder. You're going to drop your friends in the next climb.